It's Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, Embiid, Richardson, and Shake Milton for the 76ers in their home whites in the game. Their calling card really was on defense. One of the better steal teams in the NBA. Here's Tobias Harris. He leans, fires, rimming in for Tobias.
Since the break.
Yeah, you look at John.
Which was a long time ago, Pete.
It is a very long time ago. Jaren with a spin, and he puts it up and in. And cold shooting early in. Honestly, Fish, this is something. Oh, Kyle Anderson, an early looking three. It's through for basketball.
Well, I think that's why Taylor Jenkins saying earlier, you know, the defense is pretty much where he wants. Is Embiid again from outside, knocks that one down, away from the basket fouls that Jared needs to stay away from. I'll take that one, going to the basket on the break.
Now Shake Milton, a volunteer. Harris, his baseline gun is good.
Over 22.5 points per game, and Tennessee fans certainly know he can be a scorer. Boy,
Embiid,
he hasn't stepped inside.
Leading the league in paint scoring at better than 56 a game. Valanciunas trying to get Embiid off balance, fades and fills it up. Jonas Valanciunas. BC over the top, well diagnosed by Simmons. Simmons with the steal, leading the league in that category. And Korkmaz hits a corner three, and it's a little bit of a way by Dillon Brooks on the attempted lob for Simmons. Pitch ahead, Brandon Clark dropped feet, but there was nobody there, couldn't get it to Dillon Brooks, and the Grizzlies turned it over. Simmons with a slalom and an off-balance shot that somehow dances and drops. Misses connections with Jang. Former Minnesota teammates can't connect. Richardson's baseline gun goes from the Minnesota Timberwolves. Melton with 5 to shoot. Works over Korkmaz. Fires, can't fill it. Weak side rebound. Brandon Clark, he puts it up and in. Yes, it is.
Right.
Yes, it is. Well, I mean, how many of these guys in quarantine? Joel Embiid hits. How many of these guys?
But offense did not help out the Grizzlies in that quarter. 7 turnovers for the Grizzlies turned into 12 points off turnovers.
To Brandon Clark. 8 turnovers for the Grizzlies.
This sort of environment with the world's greatest players playing on it's something else to watch, and I think they've done it with the
Simmons off, and the rebound to Joel Embiid.
Grizzlies got a good shot there, though.
Robinson. It was deflected. Screen for Jackson. Good hands and a takeaway. This is the expert, but Taylor Jenkins getting into the act too. Here's Korkmaz for 3. Rebound Simmons, and look, Korkmaz off the reload, puts it down. Furkan. Midway point, second quarter, 10-minute quarters here in the first scrimmage. Valanciunas lines up the 3. Bango. And Embiid thought about it again. Valanciunas with a block, and Jaren, but nothing there.
Again, Philadelphia just getting their hand on the basketball a lot.
Morant, wham! And Brett Brown immediately calls for time.
And as we thought coming into this game, there'd be some lineups where Ben will be bringing the ball to the floor, not just playing off the ball.
That time the Sixers lost Jaren Jackson Jr. hooking up with him. Good ball movement that time, ending up willing to take one for the team. It's Al Horford.
Well, I think he's mature enough. You're absolutely right. I think he's mature enough to realize that the bottom line is for all basketball players, when you're out there, whatever minutes you have.
Colorado, 11 games so far as a Sixer. Again, they got him from the Golden State Warriors. There goes Matisse Thybulle with a major move and slam. Well done by the rookie for his first hoop.
Because of what they're able to apply mentally in the offseason. He's had 4 months off now. I think he can be considered Matisse a second-year player, too.
That's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, because he's had time to add things to his game.
See to Serena.
Well, you're talking about Matisse, and it's like he's a second-year player. Well, let me tell you that his teammates are not treating him like a second-year player.
Leading up to the NBA playoffs, the Sixers have already clinched. They can go no lower than 6, and actually, if it all started today, we're talking about the postseason. As we continue now to bring you second quarter action, that's Alec Burks. The Sixer defense sticky, coming up with yet another Memphis turnover. Boy, Tobias. And the interesting thing for the Sixers, wide disparity in their home versus road record. So obviously no home and road That's the beauty of Ben Simmons, the ability to place him just about anywhere on the floor.
For a second there, Al had John Morant. No one saw him, unable to get it.
Take that. Let me interrupt you because Ben Simmons,
the one we saw in the first half that didn't go in, that time again, without hesitation, the pull-up and the knockdown.
Listen, we're here right now, even if it's, a 17-footer, a 20-footer, a three-pointer, and he definitely buried that one, and that's Jerry.
There was a bunch of knuckleheads on that team.
Stop that.
Little 2-3 motion there. Nice little post up again. He's so quick.
Yeah, isn't he, though?
Nobody in the post for the Grizzlies. 5 around 0.
Grizzlies building around a couple of 20-year-olds in John Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr.
That's taking what the defense gives you.
Who's had a solid game with his 15 points, 10 boards, and there's Al Horford protecting the goal for the Sixers.
Tobias real effective off the dribble.
Again, it bears repeating the NBA in preparation for these games, and there are 3 different venues at the NBA campus in Orlando. But their last lead came way back in the first 10-minute quarter. They led it 8-5 as Mike Scott looked like a goaltending there, and finally there's a whistle. And 17, still trying to find himself in the NBA. His 3rd year now with the Memphis Grizzlies, actually picked up by. And the slam for Clark.
Got numbers. 76ers 5 on 4 here. If you can push it.
Well, it's going to be an Alec Burks 3, and down it goes for Burks. Things after the long absence.
You wanted to see him back and ready to go, and that's what we've seen. Good start for the big fella.
I'll tell you what.
And finishing up with the rebound.
It's a rather healthy 3 from Matisse Thybulle. Good work by Norvel Pell, and that's how
his shoulder. So he kind of shot that a little bit with just one shoulder facing the basket, unable to convert nonetheless in games. So he's got an advantage if he just stays aggressive and don't worry about making mistakes. I think good things, if you will. Not a lot of other things going on right now. Not a lot of distractions in people's lives. So I think it's also conducive.
Home game because you're hearing a lot of the music that you would normally hear here at Wells Fargo Center, where we are stationed. How about Norvel Pell hitting a 3? Pell, well, listen, first that he has taken in a Sixer uniform in any game.
And it looked like he was trying to salvage something out of nothing as Valanciunas with the...
Again, it's Raul. It's spelled like the Spanish. Nemanja Bjelica, now a member of the Sacramento Kings.
Somebody else's problem.
That's good heads-up play by Thybulle. Count them, 14 Memphis turnovers, leading to 19 points. That was all in the first half.
Looking at the bench, how important that energy from the bench, since there are no fans, comes into play.
I think it's huge, Serena. Beautiful luxury to have, but night in and night out, you got to supply it yourself, because this is going to be, I think, some of the grind that we talk about. But at a
month, 2 months in, indeed, the mentally stronger the ones who are going to survive.
Yeah, and I think the teams that can compartmentalize what they're going through. Think about it. I don't know, if our viewers at home, if you can recall the longest you've ever been in a hotel room or away from home as you see the little...
Red Brown managing to get everybody into this game and limit Joel Embiid to just 13 minutes all in the first half. And indeed, all the music from the 76ers, including their victory song at the end. They win it by a final score of 90-83. It was great just having